Hey, it's Rick. Welcome to our flight plan for the week. Get ready to soar as we dive into key strategies, market insights, and actionable tips to keep your real estate business flying high. Let's navigate this week's journey together. Remember, success is just a flight plan away. Special thanks to our sponsor, Tammy Goodman with the Loan People, for making this week's flight plan possible. Ready to get your next buyer ready to go? Listen, get pre-approved at mortgagegirl.com and trust Tammy for a very, very smooth landing. They offer great rates and a 5-star level of service to every single buyer. Hey, let's get started. We're going to dive into the flight plan right now. Marketing and branding. Do you know who's paying attention to you? Who is paying attention to you on your social media? It's not who you think it is. It's your next client. I think it's important for all of us to do a Google search. At this Tom Ferry Summit this past week, and this is why this is a hot topic for me, is marketing and branding. I got to go to a nice real estate conference, and while we were there was a ton of different sponsors that are there, but there was this one company, and they offered the ability to do a market analysis for you. So they did a social media search, they reviewed several different websites, and they basically told you whether or not what your score was for the development of your business. And the company was RealGrader, great company. So I sat down thinking I had a lot of really good social media background, and I do a lot of stuff, and I post a lot of things. And so basically they did a search where they typed in Rick Raanes, Realtor, Texas. And it brought up tons and tons of profiles, but the main profiles that it brought up are the ones that are the most prominent ones out there. And what they discovered was I lacked a lot of consistency in all of the different brands that I try to promote. And with that lack of consistency, I also do not ask the right questions or tell enough in my social banners of how to reach me. And so I would encourage you guys to go do an incognito search of your name, put the realtor afterwards, and then plug in your state. And then go ahead. I'm going to pause this video while you do this, and so come back. So right now, let's just pause. You go Google yourself, and then we'll come back and we'll find out all the different things that are going on with your Google search. All right. So think about this. People are Googling your name to find out more about you. And what are they finding out? Are they finding your Realtor.com profile? Are they finding you on Zillow? Are they finding you on Facebook? Are they finding you on LinkedIn or on Instagram? Hey, did you know that only 14% of active realtors even have an Instagram account? I think that's super impressive because it's a ton of opportunity for us. Our reputation is online, and you need to make sure that your reputation tells the shopper who you are and why they should hire you. And you need to make sure you've got reviews on all of these. Facebook needs to have reviews. Google needs to have reviews. Every single one of these needs to have some reviews in there for you. So I Google things everywhere I go. When I go to a new place, I Google it. When I go to a restaurant, I want to find out if the food is good. If there's others that are talking really good about the restaurant, and especially if I'm out of town or it's into a market that I don't know anything about, I Google it. I want to make sure that the reviews are good, because if they're bad, I'm more than likely going to pass on that. So I have to ask you, do you have the right reviews? And I feel like in today's decoupled society of things, that's going to become even more prominent today. People are going to start looking up people on Google. So your Google profile needs to be great. Everything needs to have tons of information in there. And we're going to kind of walk through all of these different types of strategies that you can do to make sure that everything that you're doing is done at a high level. So one other quick tip I want you to know is every time I go to someplace brand new, I want to take pictures of the establishment. I want to take pictures of the food. I want to take pictures of the activity or the actions that we're doing. And then I want to share those photos to Google Maps so that others, when they see those types of photos, I'm also sharing links back to when people click on who was this person that shared it. A lot of people do that and they go, oh, well, he's a realtor in the area. A lot of times people might Google something specifically and it'll actually bring up my content simply because I'm also sharing a ton of photos. I've I've got one photo that I shared of a lobster shack in Connecticut, and it's had over 2.2 million people have seen that photo because it was a real beautiful day, blue background, the building looked really great, and it was a great way for me to kind of share just, you know, where I was that day, but more importantly, now people are seeing that and they know where to go. So I think that's one small little side tip that I'll share with you, but I thought that was pretty cool. So if a seller is thinking about selling their home, what does your social reputation tell them? Do they see any reviews? Do they believe that you're in business? Do you actually say, I'm in business and to call me? I pulled up some different statistics, and so I thought this was pretty cool. A consistent brand is crucial to marketing for several reasons. Number one, it builds trust and credibility. Consistency in branding helps establish trust with your audience. When they come to your brand, are they seeing something that's familiar? And when they go across multiple platforms, are they seeing something that's very similar? And by doing that, it creates reliability and professionalism. And these are all great things to make sure that you're doing at a really high level. It also increases recognition. It enhances the recognition of your brand. A consistent brand makes your business easily recognizable. I mean, you think about the swoosh from Nike. Every time you see it, boom, you instantly notice what it is, and you know what it is. Adidas, great shoe company. You know the Adidas logo right away. Over time, your customers are going to begin to associate your logo, your colors, your tone of voice, and messaging within your real estate business. And this is super important because the more that they see consistency, they're going to make it easier for them to remember and choose you when it's time for them to buy or sell a property. Consistency also reinforces brand identity. Your brand's identity and values matter. If you're communicating who you are, what you stand for, and what makes you different from the competitors, people will latch on to you, and that will foster a deeper connection so that when the time comes, your target audience is going to choose you to buy and sell their property. The fourth thing is that you want to improve market efficiency. With a consistent brand, you can streamline your marketing efforts. You know, if you follow specific guidelines with every single post, every interaction, you want to make sure that all of your marketing materials, even things down to your folders, that when you're meeting with a client, that's recognizable. They're going to go, oh, those are great colors. That's a great logo. I recognize that from the ad that I saw. All of these things, all of your packaging has to align within the branding. Branding is your logo. Branding is your color. Branding is your message. Then the marketing is what gets that spread out over to the consumer. The right branding and marketing will support your customer loyalty. When they have a consistent experience, they're going to be more likely to develop that loyalty, and they'll become repeat clients. That branding creates a sense of familiarity and reliability, and it encourages repeat business and positive word of mouth referrals, because you want people to say, I know those guys, I've seen their branding, they look professional, they look like they do a great job, all of their reviews say that, so now I'm more willing to send out that review to someone else simply because I've seen the interactions and how that works. Branding and marketing also facilitates effective communication. A consistent brand ensures that your communication is clear across all channels, and this was really important. When they ran this search for me, I had stuff on LinkedIn that looked very different. It was a different message. My Twitter or X account, whatever you want to call it, had a different message. When they came back to my Rick Raanes business page, just for me, I thought it was interesting because it said, be noisy. And he goes, about what? And what it was saying to the consumer is, I'm just saying a lot of things. I'm not sharing consistency. I wasn't sharing anything that built loyalty or trust. Just like the good topic was Gary Vee. He said, you have a very unique name. Rick Raanes is probably very few of you in the planet. And I said, well, I think I'm the only one. There's some Richards out there, but I'm the only Ricky Raanes. And he said, well, capitalize on that. Create something that is specific to you and build it all across your marketing channels. And he said, because what will happen is if there's some level... Because what will happen with all this stuff is now by creating something that's very specific to Rick Raanes or Ricky Raanes or whatever you put out there, is that now everything is very consistent. And within those platforms, then I can tell the story about all the things that I'm doing as a business manager for the loan people and helping Tammy. That becomes super important. As the growth director for the Eagle Nexus, that becomes super important. If I'm still working with the Texas Rockstar Group as a team lead, that's something important. But share that all underneath the umbrella of my Rick Raanes branding that I'm working towards. So what we're going to do this week is I want to take a deep dive into all of the free online places where you can share your business, your name, and how to attract more business. Because remember, who's paying attention to you? It's your next client. So we want to make sure that the next client is going to really get a good feeling for who we are. So social proof, that was another big thing that went on. Earlier this morning, I had a referral from another agent in Austin, Texas. She's got a client here in Houston that's thinking about selling her home and moving to another market. So she makes the phone call. I answered the phone. She said, hey, I got your name from this other agent, and I just wanted to ask you a couple questions. And I said, fire away. Number one was, she said, I noticed on your profiles that you sell all over Houston. Is there some specific place that you sell? And I said, well, I live in the Woodlands. I said, we're very fortunate to be able to build some business and some sales. We've been involved in over 1,000 sales over the years, and we're kind of sell all over Houston, but mainly the North Houston market. And she goes, well, how many homes have I sold in the Heights? Well, now that's kind of a very unique question, and I told her that I had a handful, probably about a dozen out of the thousands were in that particular market. But then what was my job was as a listing agent was to work towards getting more eyeballs. So I missed in the branding or the marketing of my brand that basically says, Rick Raanes, as a real estate agent, my goal is to get your home sold with the most amount of eyeballs that could create the highest level of interest in your property. And by doing so, I feel like I can put more equity in your back pocket. So I missed on a couple little things inside there that I could have done a much better job on. So with better marketing, clients can feel more comfortable that I'm actually doing the job as a listing agent and putting more eyeballs on their property. So marketing and branding are super important. They matter. And it starts with a consistent brand that you can market your clients to. And so in reviewing all this with this particular Real Grader company, there was 11 sites that they had 8, but I pulled up 11 sites that you got to have consistent branding on. And what's really crucial in all these are all free programs that you can put your information on, that when the consumer goes and searches your name or your business in your particular city, these are the first things that are going to pop up on a Google search. So you want to make sure that everything is accurate in there. And I've said this time and time again through all this stuff is, don't be a secret agent. Make sure everything is in place so that when somebody clicks that link, it instantly says who you are. It instantly has a picture. It's got your information, a phone number, an email, a logo, the company you work for, what cities you market in, or areas do you market in. All of this is super important. So let's go through this list. We have, I would say the number 1 item is Facebook. Number 2 is going to be Instagram. Number 3 is going to be YouTube. Now, the rest of these things are important, but your messaging on those 3 channels or those 3 social media platforms are going to be huge. Video is key. You can create all the videos you want on YouTube, share those to all the different social medias, but built inside all of these social platforms, you want to have a direct link back to every single place that you're doing business in or that you're sharing your branding in. Because I guarantee you, Nike's everywhere. Some of the top agents, if you go to follow some of those guys, they have a very consistent brand, and their marketing is all geared towards telling a very similar story across multiple platforms. And that's what's going to be able to drive larger volumes of traffic to you. The 4th one is LinkedIn. I was surprised that the number of people that still go to LinkedIn and click on the links just to check out your professional profile. Google, you want to have everything on Google as well because everybody goes there. Your Zillow.com profile should have your proper areas that you serve. Again, quick links to everything, and you want to have a similar email address everywhere. Not from this particular one because people want to try to track where they're coming from. Have just one email, and then when somebody's calling, you can always ask them, hey, how did you find me? Next up was Trulia. I thought Trulia was a pretty good one. Twitter is also a very powerful one. I've added TikTok, Realtor.com, and Homes.com because those 2 things popped up first when I did my home search. So what you want to do is you want to get started in going into Canva. And I started with the Facebook cover profile or Facebook cover templates. And I found a template that I really liked. Then obviously I had to tweak it. I had to make sure, adjust the template. I wanted to put our new colors for our Eagle Nexus business, our team. We put our colors on there, and then I created a banner for my business page, my business Rick Raanes page, so that if someone searches for me, Rick Raanes Realtor pops up, and that brand and that banner is consistent. And that's what I started off with. So I created everything that I wanted on there. Got my name, logo, phone numbers, my picture, so that somebody recognizes me when they see me. I think that's important. So then what I did was I saved a copy of all of that. Canva Pro allows you to do a lot of these things, but I really like the fact that what they are able to do is I've created a folder that had a bunch of these templates already in it. So I saved a Facebook cover template that was mine. Then I made a copy of it, and from that copy I then created a LinkedIn. Then I created my realtor.com. Then I created my every place that I needed to have a banner, Twitter or X, I call it Twitter still, but it's X. I have a YouTube channel. You copy them, and then you you resize it to the social platform that you're going to build on. And I think it's really important that you have everything consistency in all these. Homes.com, Realtor.com, and Zillow, again, these are people are going to go look to see. They post how many homes you've sold. They post what areas you serve, what price ranges that you're in. But you need to be able to make sure, and especially on Realtor.com, that banner that you have is a quick link to everything that you're doing. I think those are really important to make sure that your banners get added. The next thing you want to do is, once you get your banners up, you're going to go to each and every different social site. I created a Google Doc, and then I had my Facebook URL, I had my Twitter URL, my Instagram URL, and the links to every single one of these free social media platforms that I have. And the reason why I did that was I wanted to be able to quickly copy and paste these things so that I didn't have to go keep researching and pulling all this stuff up. But put those on a Google Doc so that you know you've got quick access to it. So if anybody asks you for your sites, you can quickly pull those up, and you can copy and paste them. Any place that you can put in a link to your other social channels. Facebook is great about it, but so are all the other places. You go in and you say, find me on Instagram, find me on TikTok, find me on Zillow. Even from Facebook, have a link to your Zillow reviews if you have some, but put your link back to your Zillow profile, because people want to see you in all these places and they want to see that you're consistent. So I also created a dedicated URL. I ask people all the time, what's your favorite social media platform? And you should have your name directed back to your favorite social media platform, but I took it one step further. I created what they call a link tree. It's LINKTR.ee. And I would suggest that you go to GoDaddy or any other kind of website domain services, get your name, or your name sells Texas, or your name sells your state, or your name sells your city, your name realtor, something that's got your name on it, and then you want to go to the domain, GoDaddy or whatever it is, and forward that to your Linktree account. And inside Linktree, LINKTR.ee, go and search that. Get a free one. They actually have an upgraded one. I have the upgraded one, but you can brand that even to have some consistency to that. And then if you ever were to tell anybody, hey, you can find anywhere you want to find me, just go to rickraanes.com. And I'm still building that out, because I found out I had some skips in there too that I wasn't sharing everything. So I'm going to work on that this week, and I'm going to dial in my Linktree account so that I can make sure that I can send people to my URL, rickraanes.com, and they'll be able to find everything that's there. I would suggest using Linktree for a lot of different reasons. Number one, it's a centralized hub. You can put all of the links to all of the profiles that you have. It provides simplicity and convenience for the people that want to look you up, because if they want to find you on a specific platform, they can. Linktree offers that custom branding so that you can still have all of your colors on there. You would want to have your link to your Linktree account, also into your email signature. Just make sure you want to find me on all my social platforms. Go to rickraanes.com, or you can whatever that is. The other cool thing is it'll provide some analytics. It'll tell you which one is your most popular sites people are clicking through, so that you can create some nice things from there. It's versatile. You can go in and edit it. You can put in blog postings if you want to do that. You can put in a ton of different things, but we'll have a Linktree flight plan here in the near future too, where we're going to dive into how to optimize your Linktree account. And I love the fact that it's cross-platform compatibility, because you can plug it in anywhere, and it will allow all of your social media posts and or social media connections and profiles to be shared. So I think it's important to have that as part of your digital strategy. And again, rickraanes.com is my Linktree. I have that forwarded to my Linktree, and it goes out everywhere. So highly encourage you to do that. If you want more business, remember you have to promote your business. Make sure you're telling people that. Another big tip that I got this past week was tell people what you want them to do. You know, all of the big influencers are telling people to follow me on Twitter, follow me on Instagram. You know, they're sharing great things consistently. They're going to every single place that they have a social profile, and they're posting something multiple times a day, if not just once. But please make sure you're creating levels of consistency there. Remember, if you want more business, promote your business more often. I thought that was really great. Our motto is let's prosper together. I want to make sure that we're all flying on the same path and heading in the right direction. So I want to thank you for joining us on this journey. If you've enjoyed this flight plan, so here's my instructions to you. Don't miss out on what's next. Hit that subscribe button. Follow us on all of our social media. Go to rickraanes.com and connect with me everywhere. Stay tuned for more exciting content. The adventure is just beginning, and I hope to see you on the next flight plan. I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful day. Take care.